So in this hand, 50 big blinds deep, I raise Jack-8 offsuit on the button and get a call. Now on the flop of 10-10-3, very dry board, I'm just going to c-bet and react to his check raise. Now we could re-raise, as I've explained in the first video, but I know that this guy is the sort of guy that's going to just keep bluffing all the way to the river. So I wanted to float. We can hit, obviously we've got the 10 as a pivot card for a backdoor straight draw, but we can also hit a pair, and then we can re-bluff on a later street if we need to. One other thing about this opponent, I don't think he ever has clubs here. He played his draws quite passively, as I mentioned before. So I think, and he doesn't have any 3 or anything like that here. He always played his weaker hands passively as well. So I just don't think he has anything other than total air here. So we're just going to re-bluff on a later straight. Now we pick up a straight draw on the turn, and he bets half pot. In hindsight, I think jamming here might be best, because we don't want to be put in the awkward spot of him jamming river. We do have a little bit of showdown value with Jack-high, but not much, and he could bluff us with the best hand, like a Queen-high sort of hand. So jamming here might be best, just because he's going to be unpredictable in his sizing on the river. But as played, I floated again with the intention of either value shoving if I hit my straight on the river, or shoving a lot over any bluff. Or if he gives up, I might shove as well, just because he might have some showdown value with the Queen-high. Now here he bets again, half pot, and it looks like we don't have much fold equity, because he only has 1.5 times his existing bet behind. If I had Queen-high here or Ace-high, I would just call. But because he can have a Jack-high with a better kicker, or he can actually, all the better kickers connect with the board, and Ace-Jack he probably 3-bets pre-flop. But because we don't have any high card showdown value really, I mean I could hero call, but I think jamming's the best play here. I just don't expect him. He doesn't have the clubs. I've seen him be very passive in check calling all the way with flush draws before. He doesn't have the 10 because he's a slow player, and he always check calls that all the way to the river. The only possibility is he's backed into a king, and we're just going to, that'd be unfortunate, but I think the best play here is to jam, just given our read on him representing air all the way by check raising the flop. So I jam, and I remember he instantly folded. So that's always a good feeling when you get that read right, because you can look like a genius or an idiot in these sorts of spots. Alright, this next hand, this was against a semi-weak opponent as well. And we're going to see another paired board. Now these are the sorts of boards that I'm going to just be c-betting 100% of the time, because if I'm confident in my reads on my opponent, I can react to their check raises accordingly. So he check raises, same size. I actually think this might have been the same opponent from memory. And you can see he's got the same sizing again. We float. Now here is where we have to decide whether to give up on the hand or to re-bluff him. This is slightly different to the last hand, because he's going to have less than pot behind on the river. And also because we've got the full house possibility. It means that if he connects in any way on the river with his 6 outs that he probably has with his air, he might either jam it for value or check call. So I think the best play here, we could jam, but I don't even think we need to jam. Just min raising. He's representing air himself. Now that the third king comes, he can't really represent quads too well. And as I explained before, this guy was a very trappy opponent. So he either has the ace, which I doubt he has because he check calls the flop with, or he has air. So I think a min raise accomplishes the result of getting him to fold all his similar strength hands to ours. So we min raise and he folds.